Hey there, and happy Monday. So I know it's been a while since I've been live with you, but I decided last week to really do a revamp on my craft room. And I can't believe the amount of joy I have now just walking in here. And when I say walking in here, I had pulled out like old products that are retired and just different things. And I've learned not to just put them away for when I have a sale, when I have my open house. If I price them right away, then, you know, I just have better luck at being more organized when I do have those big events and there's so much going on at that time. So yeah, it was just a mess, especially my floor space. So I feel like my room has doubled in size. And now I am ready to craft again for you guys, and I'm actually excited. Does anybody, like I used to do this for my kids, like reorganize and clean up their play space when they were little, and oh, they would just dig in and just play and play and play when I would clean up their craft area, and it was exciting for them. And then they also learned that if they did it themselves too, as they got a little bit older, they actually knew that it would be fun to, you know, do it as fast as they could so that they could play. So that's kind of how I feel. I can remember just like thinking through my kids' eyes that way. And so also my heart goes out to all of you that are affected by flooding, and especially my hometown of Windham, just down the road, 6 miles away. You know, certain areas are without power. They expect the river to crest, and I actually like it just kind of makes me sick enough to my stomach that I didn't think I should go live, because I'm like, okay, who can think about the joy of crafting? But I'm like, not everybody is affected. And even for those that maybe are in a spot where they just, you know, need a break from something, and stamping is therapy. I know we're not supposed to say that as demonstrators, but I think we all agree about that too. So I decided to go ahead because I do have projects and things that I want to show you. And like I said, for some of you that, you know, that can't get to my events because of other circumstances going on in your life, being like in shelter or sheltered is kind of how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I come to you with my live videos as well. So I'm going to be showing you the Spotlight on Nature. Yes, another card showing that. Like I am stuck on this. I am stuck on it, but I'm also doing other things. So I promise after today's video, I will be taking a break from using this bundle just so that you can see other projects. So let me get my camera turned around here. Alrighty, and then you can see better the products that I'm using and actually the card that I'm making. Oops, let me get it up a little bit higher, otherwise it's too close. Okay, so in the new annual catalog here on page 69, it shows a Spotlight on Nature dies here, and you can see these 3 different circles here. And I'm so glad that somebody pointed out, before I say that though, this is sold out now. It was sold out, some came back in stock, and now it is sold out again. So if you want me to put you on a on my list of, hey, inform me when this comes back in stock, I can do that. It's expected to be in the week of July 8th, but because the bundles are on sale through the month of June, I want to keep a really close eye on that, because if it comes back in before the end of June, then you can get the extra 10% savings on that. And also what I'm doing, anybody that orders a stamp die bundle from me the month of June is going to get put into my drawing to win this bundle. It's the painted lavender dies and the painted lavender stamp set. So I want to make sure and let people know that that's going through the end of June. And then with this, so getting back to the 3 dies here, I had somebody that said, you know, I want to see what else is in there because I only see the 3 dies. So the die that, let's see, that's missing is here. So this is one of the dies that is out of it right now. And then, let's see, you can hear my little metal tray here. And this is the one that's actually being used with the card. So you can see that's missing from there. So one from each sheet, but there's different designs. Some of them have this little pattern here. Let me get my camera better, with the 3 little, almost looks like little flowers. So using that on today's card. And then this one kind of just has, I call it the dots and dashes like SOS. But you can see there's also a little like, it almost reminds me of like a pot pie crust here, like so. And so that's kind of the 3 different patterns. So when you see this here, you can see these are the 3 different patterns, but you can see there's several different sizes. So hopefully that makes sense. And when you guys ask me about different things and say things like that, it's a good thing, because then it makes me say, you know what, I can show this on my videos. And here again is why I say to myself, I'm so glad that I do videos, because not everybody can make it to my events, but a lot of you might have those same questions. So that is more about that spotlight on nature for now. And let me get going with my card today for you. So hi there, Pam and Jill. Good to see you guys on here. So here is today's card. And whoops, let me get that, that light out of the way here. Today's card is a fun fold and opens like so. So you can see that. And like that. And so if you like fun folds and like to kind of just follow through with different things, just know, like, yeah, take down the measurements. It doesn't have to be exactly this stamp set, these colors, this paper, anything, but just keep the measurements. And I wish I was better at just like keeping a notepad of just fun folds, maybe with a picture and then the measurements and different things, or even just keeping a sample and just having like a binder, like Stampin' Up. We have our 6x6 albums. It'd be so fun just to have an album of just fun folds and just to keep bringing them out and rotating the different products so that people keep seeing the fun folds, but also seeing different ways that they can be used. Okay, so my card base is Smoky Slate, and the card folds, like if I'm cutting it, I always say like this way. So that's technically the way it folds. So we've got it the long way. So you'd cut your 8.5 by 11 the long way. So we've got 4 1/4 by 11 going that way. And then what I did is scored it at 5.5. So you still have that score going at the normal 5.5 that you would here. Let me actually take my bone folder here and score that so you can get a better idea of that. Okay, so then that is giving you a 1.5 inch fold over piece. But how I got to that was I cut off a 1.5 inch piece off the end. So as I had it long, I cut off a 1.5 and then a 2.5, and both of these pieces are going to be used. And so just left 1.5 attached to the 5.5 for our card base, essentially. So I hope that all makes sense to you guys. And normally I would cut this, you know, for you if it's a fun fold, but these are leftover pieces from a recent class that I had. So I'm just kind of reusing it that way. So what I'm going to do is take out these little strips here from the Country Lace Designer Series paper, and this is cut 4 by 1 1/4, and I've got two pieces of this here. So hopefully you can see the Country Lace. That's been super popular too. Hi Karen, hi Tabitha. And so I'm just going to take and run a little bit of adhesive on both of those strips, and one's going to go across the top here, like so. And I think, you know, like I said, my card goes this way, but it could even be fun to have it going like that and have just like a whole different scene set up that would look really cute going that way versus that way. So yeah, don't let just even the orientation of the card limit you to what you can do. All right, so I'm going to put both of those two things together here, like so. And then also from the Country Lace, there's like grays and neutral tones to that. And so some are on one side and some are on the other. So this kind of matches the gray versus the tan, that pattern, but I want to use the gray on the back side here. And this piece is cut 2 1/4 by 4 inches. So I'm just going to add some adhesive there, and that's going to go on that other piece that we've cut off the card base. So now just by adding that, now we've got all these pieces coming together. And it's kind of funny because on my card, I thought, oh, I wonder if somebody accidentally like flopped this into an ink pad, but I don't think we use that gray color of ink anywhere near this card. And as I'm making the card new, I'm like, you know what, this is part of like the speckling and what makes the country Lace Designer Series paper kind of fun is just the extra detail that they have in there. So I'm like, oh good, I didn't wreck a card, or nobody else did either. Okay, so now to get this going, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the top and the bottom of this piece. I don't want too much because I don't want it to stick to our base here. And then this I'm going to just lay across the bottom here and make sure that that's level and make sure that I don't move that. And now I am going to be able to put the top and the bottom together and have that match. And yay, it's always fun when it kind of lifts off, so then I know I didn't get too far into these areas where I shouldn't with my adhesive. So I've got that going there. So hi there, Donna, good to see you on here. And so now right away, I think what I'm going to do is take my 4 by 5 1/4 piece here that I normally put on the inside, and that's going to be ready to go as well. So same measurement as I would for any card. Oh, extra sticky today, guys. All right, so I've got that going here. I'll just put that on the inside so you can kind of see how this is taking shape as a card. So now we're going to work on the main focal point, which are these flowers from the Spotlight on Nature. And there are not dies. So as I was looking at another demonstrator doing a card kind of similar to this, I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. I think my ladies will like this for an upcoming class. And so that's what I started to design for you guys, was that. And so I'm just inking this up with Memento black ink. And I'm just going to stamp that out here, like so. All right, and then I can tell you that whoops, my cutting scissors here has the charm wrapped around. It's almost like locked up. So that demo, you know, I was like, oh, I like that card. I think that I'm going to copy that. And I started to reach for like where these dies that have, or that coordinate with my tulips. And I'm like, okay, which dies are those called? Well, of course, now Stampin' Up! Has labeled all of the dies the same name as the stamp, which is really nice. And so I thought, okay, it's the circles. So everybody that came to Stamp Camp had to fussy cut this. And I kind of went, you know, there's some areas that are going to get covered up here with the sentiment. So I don't have to necessarily cut that ahead of time, but I thought, you know, it's not terrible to have to cut all this. And sometimes as I get into these other areas, I cut chunks off to make it easier to get around and such too. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I know some people, that is why they don't like to fussy cut, because they really get in there and they really make everything just almost like too perfect. And I know it is the nature of, you know, those that are perfectionists and like to craft and such too. So I just want to make sure that that you know, like, okay, people are going to be looking at your flowers, and yeah, you don't want it to be all jig-jaggy. I get that too, because sometimes I've seen that on cards, and I'm like, oh, if they would have just taken a little bit more time. Okay, and so I'm just cutting. I'm getting to the final stretch here, and there we go. Just getting that, and I think all of these areas are kind of going to show. I'm not going to go in depth into that area there like I maybe did with my original, just to save a little bit of time. And I know there are some people too that they go, oh, this card's for me. Why? Because of the fussy cutting, and I think that's kind of crazy too. Okay, so now I've got that cut out there like so. Right, maybe my camera angle is actually a little bit too high. I feel like I'm getting more of a shadow. I don't want that for you guys. Okay, now I think this is the normal level. All right, so now I'm just going to do a little coloring, and all there really is a little bit of coloring. Hi there, Pam. I'm starting to color, and here you are. It's just like meant to be, right? So I have been, these are the peach pies, peach pie blends. I'm going to start with the dark, and I have been, like I said, reorganizing my stamp room. So I literally took out all my blends and reorganized them according to that color wheel that is in our catalog. And that was kind of fun, kind of like soothing to just look now over at my blends and have everything kind of in order the way it should be. I kind of had it that way, and then I just feel like some of the colors, you know, when they changed, it just wasn't getting back in, or I wasn't allowing enough space. So I think we all get guilty of that. You kind of take out things, and then you don't have enough space, and so you just put it in a different spot and such, and that's kind of what happens too. All right, so I kind of went over the bottom half with the dark, and then just gonna go over where it meets with the light. And with that, it's going to blend. But with this, kind of the way the artist has developed this image is a lot of what the image looks like has it looking darker because of those dark sketching in there that the black leaves with the images too. Okay, and then I'm bringing out the new light and dark Shy Shamrock colors. So for this, I'm just going to kind of take and do a little bit on each tip here of the the dark Shy Shamrock. And I don't want to hurry too much, just because then I will go outside of the lines, and I want it to look nice for how I will use it. Probably be sending this to somebody that's ordering from me as a thank you. I love sending out my little card pack, so that's why I still have my June host code up here. Currently, that is my only host code I've got open. So if anybody is interested in being a hostess of mine, even virtually, I can make that happen too. Okay, so you can see, looks kind of goofy, a little spotted there, but I feel like it's easier to start with the dark Shy Shamrock and then just fill in with the light, because then I'll know exactly what I have left to color in here. So I'm just going to do that, and it makes it easier. And then it's just going to be a matter of finishing the assembly of the card. So this part does take a little bit longer, whoops, but not terrible. Okay, got that, and almost done here. Yeah, and people, I think they liked it. They seem to really like it. I always kind of wait for feedback when I have projects that take a little bit longer, just to see if people actually think it's worth it. And people love, I think the color combination is just so pretty. I've always liked like the peaches and the pinks with gray, and so I think that's part of it too. So before I put this on, I'm just going to take some linen thread here and just tie this around here a couple times, and actually going to do, let's see, actually gonna try and leave a little bit more space here and try and tie a bow. We'll see. Might not have left a couple space or enough space for that. And sometimes it depends on my attitude. Like, will my fingers work if I feel like, Okay, all right. I think this might actually happen pretty decently. And is there enough to tighten it again? Hopefully, yeah, maybe. So we'll see. Oh, I might have just botched it. And I might just be of the attitude tonight that this is going to be a bow. Or I mean a knot. But you know what? It's kind of hanging out like that. I think I might just leave it. I think that might turn out okay. So by the time I put the sentiment on, I think it's going to look okay. We'll see. Otherwise, I might think the one that I'm pulling on is actually just making the same one smaller. Well, no, there we go. Okay, that's why they call them live videos. All right, so I think it looks a little bit better. Okay, and then from that same Spotlight on Nature video, I'm just going to use the word thanks and stamp that up in that Memento Black, and then put that on that small circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies there. And now this I'm going to take and pop up with just a couple, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the right spot, just a couple dimensionals. I don't want any here because I don't want this to be sticky, because that's going to hang over my edge of my card here. And then for this, I'm not popping this up at all. I am just going to put some adhesive kind of here and there along the way on these different spots here. And then that can just kind of be tucked right in there like so. And then this, I'm going to take off those dimensionals and kind of scoot this. So I want this to sit over a little bit. So if I raise, oops, sorry, I need to get that in camera. So if I scoot this over a little bit by raising this flap, I can move that. Then I can put my bow right alongside there. Okay, so my thanks is popped up. It's got a bow next to it, and it overlaps just like I wanted it to, like so. So now we have the fun fold looking like that. And then it just needs a little bit of embellishment. And so I've been using these a ton, the 24 through 26 in color shimmer gems. You can tell peach is my favorite because a lot of that's missing, but I thought how fun to incorporate some of the shy shamrock too. I have like one peach left right now until I get some more in. So I'm just going to take one of the larger shy shamrocks and just put that down here, and then a couple of the smaller ones I'm just going to kind of put in play around there like so. And it does just really make things pop and coordinate, and you can see what it looks like to have the peach embellishments on there, and even in different spots too. So you can tell just by how things line up or whatever. Every card's going to look a little bit different there. So hopefully you enjoy that. And like I said too, if there's anything you guys need, June, the special is stamp die sets are an extra 10% off. And I am keeping track of everybody that orders a stamp die bundle, because I'm writing, so even if you order 2 or 4, your name's going to get put in my drawing 2 or 4 times for this bundle, the painted lavender stamps and dies. So that's what I'm doing for June. And then everybody that places a minimum order using this host code, or if you are your own hostess, say you want to place a big order and it's over 150, you get host rewards from Stampin' Up. You'll also be getting a thank you gift from me in the mail without using the host code, because then I want you to use that. Thanks, Pam. All right, let me get my camera turned around. So hopefully tomorrow I will be back with maybe some more inspiration. It's so hard to say. Kind of feel like I need to keep my phone charged too, because there will be power outages. There already are some power outages in our area because of the storm, and I'm not sure how far reaching that is with the flood. I shouldn't say storm, flooding, like historic flooding. So Wyndham's record from 1969 will be broken this week as the river rises, probably a whole nother foot as water comes through the watershed and such. So pray for those people that are dealing with those issues. And like I said, it's my hometown, just miles down the road. So I feel like heartsick for them, and I know that they would appreciate the prayers, or if you're in the area and can help out in any way too, that's always a good thing as well. So hope to see you soon. Again, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.